Protect this smile? Please, more like protect these thighs, my dude. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. We're back from break. So Boku no Hero Academia chapter 262 of the manga. We'll discuss everything from this battle between the high-end Nomu and Mirko, and just how amazing of a hero she is, to the possibility that Shigaraki might not be ready to wake up. He's only at around 70%, maybe give him 80%, but still, that's going to be a challenge for the villains. And the end of this chapter where Skeptic is freaking out about the heroes coming. Gotta say, do the heroes actually have a jump on the villains, or is there something else we're not aware of? Let's dive in. So the chapter opens with Crust and a few other pro heroes fighting this Nomu in the hallway, and he's like, we gotta get through this Nomu fast. Mirko is up ahead and she needs our help. She's in danger. And as we see in the end and middle of this chapter with this huge fight scene, she is in danger, but lucky for her, she's awesome. So Crust, good looking out for Mirko, but I guess she didn't need you after all. But we do learn about Crust. He's the number 6 pro hero. I like that, that's my favorite number. And his quirk is Shield, which allows him to create a shield with his entire body, or what looks like any part of his body that he can generate those scales from. So I'm pretty hyped about this hero, and as I've said before, it's basically Naofumi. It's basically the shield hero. Crust then goes on to describe the Nomu, specifically that they have higher strength levels than the average human or pro hero, and of course that they have multiple quirks. Now, this isn't any new information, it more serves as a refresher course and something to keep in mind just to remind you when Mirko is actually fighting these high-end Nomu. He also states that the high-end Nomu have more capabilities than an average Nomu, specifically that they can think for themselves, and they're probably more powerful as well. We then flash to Dr. Ujiko, who has this internal monologue about how hard it is to prepare someone, Shigaraki in this case, for this type of transformation. That it's really hard to perform artificial quirk transplant surgery, and it takes at least 3 months for the quirks to settle into the body and for the body to accept them. And I love this, it's exactly like regular transplant surgery. When you get an organ from someone else's body, the body can sometimes reject it, and it can take a long time for the body to get used to it. And it's the same thing here. When Shigaraki's getting these foreign quirks from all these dead pro heroes or street criminals, his body is going to reject it. I mean, sometimes the body even rejects a quirk it's born with. Look at Aoyama, for example. His navel laser leaks out. He needs that belt just to be able to function normally with his own quirk. Shigaraki's situation is even more delicate because the doctor notes that most of the quirks Shigaraki is getting focus on combat. So they're one, very powerful, and because of this two, very unstable. It seems to me like Shigaraki might need at least 4 months for these quirks to settle into his body. But this is a great tidbit of information because we've always wondered, what kind of quirks is Shigaraki obtaining? We knew Deku would have some support with the one-for-all quirks, and he does. He has Nana's float. But it looks like they're just turning Shigaraki into a weapon. He's going to have all these offensive abilities. I hope he does get some support quirks, but this is quite enlightening. Shigaraki will not only have his amazing decay power, but whatever other offensive abilities, and he'll probably even awaken those quirks. If you think about Shigaraki getting quirks, in my mind he's at least getting 6 new ones to match Deku's 7 quirks in the One For All. It would make sense, it would even the playing field. It would balance the force, if you will. But since the new movie came out and everyone's talking about the villain 9, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I haven't even seen the movie, and how he's sort of a test case for transplanting quirks, it seems to me like Shigaraki might have at least 10 quirks. Like he's going to be a better version of 9. He's going to be Ujiko's perfect specimen in terms of his surgery and his abilities. And that's going to be a very awesome successor of All For One. Dr. Ujiko also states that without the right power infused and the time to incubate that power, mass production of high-end Nomu is very difficult. And he says that only 5 of these Nomu have reached this peak stage. I assume those are the 5 high-end Nomu that are currently facing Mirko, which we'll talk about in a bit. But even then, we know that those Nomu aren't even stable. They're not as ready as, say, Hood-chan, the high-end Nomu that fought Hawks and Endeavor. Ujiko also admits that he's basically lost 2 Nomu with the ability to warp, that's John-chan and Mocha-chan, so without them, Shigaraki has no means of escaping, which means if he can't figure out some way to defend him and maybe activate some other high-end Nomu and stall for time, Shigaraki's gonna have a rude awakening. Hold on, I just gotta check my phone, it's charging. 70%? Not good enough! Dr. Ujiko is obviously panicked here, as he should be, because he realizes 70 to 71% quirk settlement rate won't do. We see Shigaraki's readiness tick up 1 point, but after seeing how the 5 high-end nomu fall to Mirko and all the heroes that are converging on him, I can't see Shigaraki being ready and awoken at 100%. I give it, at best, 85% quirk settlement rate for Shigaraki. But I want to know what you have to say. What's going to happen to Shigaraki? Will he be ready for the heroes? And when he does eventually wake up, what quirks will he have? Leave your best Shigaraki surgery and quirk transplant theories down below in the comments. And once this video has been up for, say, 24 hours, Truth Senpai will pin the very best theory. So make it count. What we have next is possibly one of the funniest scenes we've had in the manga for a long time. This picture is great. All nomu go to heaven. May you rest in sweet peace, Johnny and Mocha. And guys, if you didn't know, now you know. These faces, these are the faces of angels. That's what they look like. Now, to gaze upon another angel, my dear thick girl Mirko. The nomu ask her, how can you even move? It's because she's an amazing epic hero, duh. Now, this isn't where she loses an arm, but she's actually kind of stuck in these pipes, and she's just like, oh, I'll use my legs to force my body out of it and rejoin the fight. Absolutely amazing. We then get this epic badass fight scene between Mirko and the high-end nomu, and I honestly can't wait until this is animated. But just when it looks like she's going to get caught in this brain whip nomu's tentacles and then surrounded by the other two, we get our first super move from the Bunny Hero, Full Moon Ring, where she spins around like she's breakdancing and kicks them back. I think Mina Ashido would be pretty proud. Unfortunately, she doesn't slip out unscathed, and the brain nomu does some damage on her left arm. It's broken and mangled, kind of hanging there. She still has a hand, but it's not in good condition. But she continues the fight. She finds openings on these nomu, and when this big nomu goes in to defend his friends, she unleashes an insane super move, Lunar Drop Kick. I honestly didn't know kicks could look so good. I mean, it is Mirko, so guess it makes sense. Either Mirko is an absolute powerhouse, which I do not doubt for a second, or it's safe to say that these 5 high-end nomu aren't really up to par with what we've seen from high-end nomu. They're definitely no Hood-chan who fought Endeavor and Hawks, and we do know that these 5 are unstable, so it seems to me that their power level is a little decreased and they're not really that formidable. But hey, I gotta say, Mirko continuing this fight with a broken arm, that's some effort. And it's an effort that you gotta respect coming from Mirko. Even this blockhead nomu that has armor and corkscrew fists and is pretty tough respects her for it. He's like, you're giving it a lot for your condition. And Miruko's just like, when you're in a hurry, that's what you gotta do. You gotta close the distance. Mad respect. Thick respect to Mirko. She takes her job as a hero very seriously, and she really strives to finish her mission and put the safety of others above herself and her own life. And I guess seeing this now, I'm okay with the fact that she was pictured in that scene of heroes that left their mark on history in the latest episode. Go check that out. You'll notice that her silhouette is actually present next to All Might and some of these other unknown heroes. But seeing this and seeing her ultimate sacrifice here, I'm okay with it. This armored nomu attempts to taunt Mirko by saying, die. And she's like, psh, you die when you die. And we see the third and final super move from Bunny Hero, Lunar Headlock, or basically, Lunar Suplex. And if somehow your respect for thick thighs saving lives wasn't enough, in the end, Mirko basically cut off her own mangled arm and used her own hair as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. I mean, what more can I say besides, marry me? This speech from Mirko at the end is also amazing. Now, I'm not sure how the Korean translates to English, but it's like, I'm not going to regret any time I might be dying because I'm dying every day. Meaning, I embrace the hero lifestyle every day. And to the zombies, the nomu, Hero Mirko will never fall to the likes of you. Perfect. I really like the idea of Mirko losing an arm in this battle. Well, no, I don't want to see any harm come to her or any hero, but if you think about it, it's a perfect condition for her. She can still use her quirk since it's about her thick thighs and legs as a bunny hero, but this way we have some consequences for the story. My Hero Academia has always done a great job with permanence and consequences. Endeavor was scarred when he fought the high-end Nomu, and Chisaki lost both his arms to Shigaraki, so now Mirko has a battle scar as well. It also raises the question just exactly how many heroes are going to be left to help when raiding the mansion, because don't forget, the hospital is just one phase of this plan. I know Mirko would like to help and give it her all, but considering she just lost an arm and she's bleeding, she might have to get medical attention. She might have to actually drop out of the second half of this mission if heroes are required from the hospital to go help out in raiding the Paranormal Liberation Front's hideout. At the end of this chapter, Skeptic is freaking out. Jinbubai Gawara, you've done it now. I've been watching Hawks and there's something unusual. Thanks a lot, Twice. Now the heroes are coming. We have to see what happens in the future of this arc, but this quote from him and what he's realized may have just cemented Hawks' deception of Twice. Again, we have to see whose side Hawks is really on when the battle starts, but we might see Twice looking very confused in the next chapter, which I like, and we also might get to see Hawks commenting on this and maybe even attacking the mansion because he was supposed to watch for heroes and maybe he's now turning his back on the Paranormal Liberation Front. What I'd like to really discuss from this chapter is Shigaraki and his current state in mid-surgery and transformation. If he has to fight right now at, say, 80% quirk settlement rate, actually let's be generous, 85%, it's still going to be like,
no, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready!
Ready or not, we can still talk about what power Shigaraki will get when he wakes up or through this transformation. I think it's safe to say that he's at least going to get 6 new quirks to make it a grand total of 7 to balance the light side and the dark side with Deku. Now, the doctor did say that most of these quirks will focus on combat, however, I do believe Shigaraki will be able to at least levitate and fly, similar to All For One. We also have to think, like, All For One might have given Shigaraki some of these quirks in this transformation, so he's probably going to get some of the best quirks All For One has. I don't think he'll copy All For One's style because he was more just like, I'm going to shoot air blasts and have bone rivet limbs, and to me that wasn't really Shigaraki's style. It may be the case that Shigaraki might get, I don't know, he could shoot lightning. I like the idea of him getting some sort of power that's connected to 9, since Dr. Ujiko already did this experiment on 9, I think so, and 9 was sort of the first test case for quirk transfer, so I do like the idea of Shigaraki getting quirks similar to 9. But let me know what you guys think. What quirks do you think Shigaraki's gonna get? The other thing I was thinking about in regards to Shigaraki from this chapter is that this actually might be a blessing in disguise if the heroes arrive and Shigaraki has to prematurely wake up and not complete his transformation, because as we've seen, Shigaraki's kind of like Michael Jordan. He plays better with the flu. He fights better when the odds are stacked against him, when he's absolutely being beat up and he's losing fingers. Remember back to the fight he had against Redestro. He was in dire states, and that's when he tapped into that hatred and went plus ultra full chaos style. So I believe that no matter when the heroes confront Shigaraki, if he's at 72% in the next chapter, or maybe 99%, or even if he gets to that 100%, it's not going to matter. Shigaraki's going to dig deep, and I think it just benefits him the most if he's mad about being woken up. It's still going to be hard. I mean, can you imagine fighting after you get a surgery for even something simple? You're groggy and you don't know what's going on and you have 100 heroes in your face? That's going to be tough. And also, Shigaraki hasn't had any practice with his quirks, but still, I think he's going to be really formidable, and I think the heroes right now just want to take out Shigaraki. They don't even want to wake him up, they just want to kill him. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Miruko's absolute Herculean effort in this chapter? Show some thick love for Bunny Hero down below in the comments. And don't forget to post your Shigaraki theories within 24 hours of this video being released to get pinned by yours truly. Guys, if you like My Hero Academia content and these chapter reviews, consider enrolling at UA today by subscribing. And please tap that bell notification so you never miss a lecture. Until next time, thanks for watching, be good, and plus ultra.